guarantee.
Today on Sports World from the Michigan International Speedway, it's the Michigan 125. 1 year ago, this man, Johnny Rutherford, drove to victory in the Michigan 200 USAC race. But that was last year. Today, it's 125 miles of racing, and the governing body is no longer USAC. It's Championship Auto Racing Team, otherwise known as CART, a group of the top Indy drivers who last December split away from the United States Auto Club. On Sports World last March, you saw one of the exciting finishes which has typified kart racing this year as Gordon Johncock captured the Phoenix 150. And this is the type of IndyCar action that has made this the most outstanding of all racing seasons. Today on Sports World, Johnny Rutherford will defend his title against three-time Indy champion Al Unser, his brother and two-time Indy champion Bobby Unser, the Phoenix champion Gordon Johncock, two-time national driving champion Tom Sneva, the hardest charger of them all, Danny Ungayas, and this year's Indianapolis 500 champion Rick Mears. Today's Sports World is nestled in the beautiful farmland. We're just 70 miles from Detroit as we're back at the Michigan International Speedway for the Michigan 125 on this beautiful 2-mile oval, one of the finest racing facilities in the world. And now we are ready for those famous words.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
The magic moment as the top IndyCar drivers in the world are here today. Bobby Unser, who has captured the pole position, qualifying at 203.879 miles per hour. And joining him on the first row, his brother Al, also in the 200-mile-per-hour club. Gordon Johncock, the 1973 Indianapolis champion. This year's Indy champion, Rick Mears. The man they call the Hurricane Hawaiian, Danny Ungayas. The defending champion, but he's back in the fifth row, Johnny Rutherford. And Tom Sneva, who's normally on the pole, today in his backup car due to an accident yesterday, he will be starting at the back of the pack. We'll be watching his progress. Also on Sports World today, an event we've all been looking forward to. And for that story, let's go to Sam Nover in Denver, Colorado. Hey, this is Charlie Jones along with Paul Page. And Paul, we're midway in the first season of IndyCar racing. It has been an exciting season, and I believe we've had more close finishes this year than I can remember in the past several seasons. So at this point, how do you assess the first year of kart racing?
Well, Charlie, just under a year ago, this organization, CART, didn't exist at all. In fact, it never intended really to run the races. And then they found that they wanted to merchandise championship racing in a different way. One that might be happier for the fans. One that might create better racing. They've done just that. They've put together their organization in cooperation with the Sports Car Club of America. That helps SCCA. They now have the prestige of these great Indianapolis champions. They have put together good races. They have been close races, and I expect we're going to have one this afternoon.
The race, 125 miles, and in a sprint of this distance, the key could well be in the pits. Let's join our man there, Gary Gerould. Gary?
Well, you've hit it right on the head, Charlie. That is one of the key elements. The fact today, it is a sprint, 125 miles on a racetrack where we've seen speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour. There's no opportunity to lay back today and see what develops. It's going to be a flat-out charge to the checkered. Some of the crew chiefs have said they may gamble. They may try to go the distance, depending on race conditions, on just one stop. Most likely, we'll see 2 stops, but quick work in the pits is going to be the key to determining the winner of the Michigan 125. Back upstairs, Charlie.
Here is the field for the Michigan 125. Row 1, number 12 is Bobby Unser. Number 2 is Al Unser. In row number 2, number 20, Gordon Johncock. Number 40, Wally Dallenbach. Row number 3, number 9 is Rick Mears. 25 is Danny Ungayas. Row 4, 36, Mike Mosley. 7, Steve Krisiloff. Row 5, Tom Backley, and number 4, the defending champion, Johnny Rutherford. Row 6, Lee Kunzman, and number 10, Pancho Carter. And here is the rest of the field, with the note once again, starting in the back of the pack, is Tom Sneva. Paul Page.
Tom Sneva is, of course, starting back there because he elected to. He is in a car that he says is much better than the primary car that he crashed yesterday during the qualifications. So if that car is better, we should expect Tom Sneva to move up very rapidly.
Now, the difference in qualifying time, although he had one qualifying lap in his other car before he put it in the wall in turn 4 yesterday, the qualifying time between his other car and the 6 or 7 drivers in front of him is about 24 miles an hour, so he could make an early move. We'll be watching for it. The green flag is out, and it is Bobby Unser. And Al Unser going high with him as Bobby holds the lead going into turn 1. Johnny Rutherford tries to make a quick move, and Sneva already has moved up 4 places, now 5, 6, 7 places. Tom Sneva with the move very early in the race.
But Bobby Unser, Charlie, is dropping back rather rapidly. There might be something wrong with that machine because Al Unser was able to pull away, and we're watching Bobby drop further back in the field.
Coming through turn 3, now to turn 4, and that will be Gordon Johncock that now has the lead. He started in the number 3 spot. It is Johncock, and then Al Unser. And Tom Sneva continues to work his way up.
Obviously, Tom Sneva's car is handling very well for him. Already he has gone around 5 other cars and begun to string his way up through the field. He'll have to do that carefully, though. This is a very fast track, and traffic ahead of him is fast and heavy.
As you mentioned, he feels that this car is actually handling better than the other car.
I was surprised to hear him say that he actually liked the backup car more.
Mike Mosley is running 3rd in car number 36. Bobby Unser has dropped back to 4th in car 12, and Rick Mears in car number 9 is running 5th. This is a 63-lap race.
Whatever was wrong with Bobby's car on the start, he seems to have cured the problem now, as both Bobby and Mike Mosley have begun now to close on the leaders. You can see Al Unser, Gordon Johncock, and Mike Mosley running 1, 2, and 3. But there goes Johncock trying the inside of Unser. He gets it done. Now Mosley close up on the back of Unser's machine.
And you saw, of course, on Sports World early this year, Gordon Johncock in the win at the Phoenix 150. And Bobby Unser making his move now is running 3rd underneath his brother Al, and on turn 1 could take 2nd place as Al gets a little squirrely but cuts him off, and Al Unser is running 2nd in car number 2 with Johncock leading and Bobby Unser now challenging underneath.
Charlie, we mentioned on how close this racing has been all year long. There's an example right there. That is first place. I don't think you want to call any one of those cars as first at the moment. There are actually 4 that could take the lead at any second in this competition.
We might point out that if there is not a yellow, many of the drivers feel they can make it on 1 pit stop.
That's going to stretch it right to the absolute limit of these fuel tanks, but the computation at 1.8 miles to gallon, which is what they're looking for, then they might be able to make it on 1 pit stop if the race doesn't run too hard.
Here is Tom Sneva, starting at the back of the pack, continuing to work his way up as he wants to challenge the leaders very early. Down the back straight, which is about the length of 5 football fields. In fact, Johnny Rutherford told me he was checking out the length of the back straight. He now has a World War II Mustang. He wanted to land it on the back straight. He said, I didn't think there was quite enough room.
I suspect Johnny better pay attention to driving the race car right now. Bobby Unser has moved into the lead on the backstretch and is beginning now to pull away from his brother Al. That bright yellow machine of Al Unser's, both of the leaders, in fact, are ground effects cars, Charlie. They are cars that the design of them actually suck the race car down onto the racing surface. That helps them in the corners. It makes them go around the corners that much faster. And Bobby Unser is doing that right now, though you can see that Al Unser is back some distance, and the race is beginning to string out just a bit.
We're 6 laps in the race with Bobby Unser in car number 12 leading. His brother Al Unser in car number 2 is running 2nd. Gordon Johncock, who has been in and out of the lead a couple of times in car number 20, is running 3rd. Mike Mosley in car number 36 is running 4th. And Rick Mears in car number 9 is running 5th. And now, let's go to Mile High Stadium in Denver, Colorado. Sneva moves up, but here is Sam Nover. Hello. Racing.